Well, hey there. Welcome to day 1023 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here at your service, sharing and documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar world, the world of corporate America, over a quarter century in corporate America, plus 47 years of business ownership, different businesses, different industries, at least 27 different businesses and industries. Now, that was counting before I got online. Now, since I've gotten online, I've done a lot of different things, but I haven't counted them. I've just been documenting my journey on this little daily video log because I have visual challenges and I wanted to have a way to keep track of what the heck I'm doing. Now, have I gone back and watched 1023 videos? No. Because why? If I ever watched any of them, I would never post them. I would never post, and I wouldn't have the gumption to get up and do a video every day if I actually went back and watched them. Because like every other human being, I would critique the living daylights out of myself, and I would never push finish. I would never push share. So I don't want to be doing that. I want to actually be learning and growing as a human being, as a person, as a business person, as a female, as a whatever, as a grandma, as I continue through my life experiences. And I want to share some of that with you. Now, I am currently doing 5 live videos every morning. I get up in the morning, I follow my morning routine, I create 5 pieces of content, and then I personally am still disseminating and doing my own content, which I have known for 2 years that I shouldn't be doing it. But as I was going through other changes and other things outside of my business life, I kept holding on to it and kept controlling it. Now, over the next very near future, probably by the end of the year, I need a virtual assistant who does these things for me, the processing of the content, because it takes me a couple hours a day, and I've gotten it down to probably the most efficient way possible, but it's still a couple hours a day that I would prefer interacting with other human beings, coaching or consulting or hanging out with the people I love and care about, doing things and pursuing things that I'm interested in other areas and aspects of my life, or creating new products or services that really serve people. So that will be changing in the not too distant future. But for right now, that's part of my daily routine, is the processing of the the content that I create. So I create 2 versions of what I call supersize your business, or idioms and what they mean. The first one I do live on my personal profile page, because I want to practice it and get a feel for the topic. And as I talk about it, I think of more things that will apply to that particular saying or idiom with respect to building and growing your business. And then I do that one after I do the live on my personal profile page. I really start out every day with a very short, usually around a minute. I think the longest one ever has been 3 minutes. I do one thing a day. One fun thing a day is 2020 is every single day I've got a little journal book, and I share the entry for that journal book or that little activity or saying for the day to warm my voice up. That is, we wake up in the morning, and if we haven't talked to anyone, and I normally don't talk to anybody in the morning, except maybe the dogs, before I have to do my videos. Well, sometimes your voice is that morning gravel-gertie voice, and you don't necessarily want to start out with that. So I do that very short video just to wake up and get my voice going. Today was just about sharing the weirdest meal you've ever had, and doing a review or a write-up of the weirdest, strangest meal you've ever had. And I think I said worm tacos, and I'll have to think on that a little bit today to see if I've eaten or had a weirder meal than worm tacos. But that was right up there on the top of the weird list. So that challenge. Then right now I'm doing the No Nonsense November, which is a part of the Get Up and Go challenge. Beginning of COVID, I started to do a free Get Up and Go challenge, because I wanted to know that I would keep moving through COVID and keep progressing and keep moving toward my goals and objectives. And I wanted to help other people do that as well. A lot of people, their lives were blown up. Now, I didn't think of it at the time, but I have been going through a lot of the things that people are experiencing for the first time with COVID a couple of years ago, as my vision started to deteriorate and I had to give up things like my driver's license, or I just stopped driving because I couldn't see well enough to drive that I thought safely, and a lot of other things. A lot of my freedoms and a lot of my ability to move about freely was impeded, primarily because I lived way out in the country. And now that I've moved in town, it's less restrictive. But with COVID and Uber and Lyft and everything being, a little iffy, I, like everybody else, am shutting down even more than I had before. But since I'd already experienced it before, I've already gone through all of the changes and the challenges and the ramifications that are associated with that, the things you need to do, the things you need to create and put in place in order to continue to function, continue to live your life, continue to move in the direction you want to move, even though there's stuff outside of you that is impacting you and controlling you. So I thought, well, how can I help with this? And I did the first 30 plus day get up and go challenge in April, month of April. And then we did April, we did June to July, a 40-day challenge, because I was challenged by a group of entrepreneurs to do that. And then again in August and October, and then in December, we'll do the fifth change and the fifth version of the Get Up and Go challenge. But in between, I wanted to do something. So one of my amazing friends who's gone through the challenge a couple of times with me suggested that I just share a tool a day in November. So instead of No Shave November, we are doing No Nonsense November. And I'm sharing just every single day a tool that I've used or continue to use throughout my life that has made a huge and profound difference in my life. Now, you might say, well, I've tried this. It never did anything for me. Well, then just ignore that tool. But I guarantee that over the 30-day period, there's at least one tool everybody that listens to this will be able to use to make their life better. Absolutely, positively, 100% confidence I can say that. So that's No Nonsense November. And today was about habits, routines, and rituals. And the difference between them, the habit loop we talked about habit stacking. We talked about 21 different type of routines or things that you could consider, but really only 20 because the list only had 20. It missed number 18. Super, super annoying, right? How hard is it to edit and realize that when you're doing a list of something, you lost 18? It takes 2 seconds, right? Even somebody with their magnifying glass can figure that out. So working on that. Going through a rough run through of my book and adding stories and some graphics and some examples and explanations, because in some places I think it makes perfect sense, but I know that somebody else reading it would be like, okay, I see what you're saying, but I'm not sure I get it. And so I think it's really important to have stories and examples that support the key concepts in the book, in any book. I like books that give real life examples of applying a framework or a process or a strategy or a routine or a ritual or a habit or a system or a process or a tip or a trick. Yeah, you can tell people a whole lot of tricks, but it doesn't mean it translates to, well, okay, well, how do I use that? So I want to make sure I'm answering the question, well, how do you use that? And how can you use that right now throughout the book? That's it. That's all I got today. That's all I'm going to share today. Go out, make an absolutely amazing, incredible day. If I can help you anyway, any questions, I might not know the answer, but I guarantee I know somebody or something that can help you get to the next step, the next level of what it is that you're trying to do. So never be afraid to ask. That's it. Have a great day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.